Welcome back. I hope you're doing great. As a part of this video, we'll understand the process monitoring in Linux. Before we really start understanding how do you monitor or manage the process in Linux, let us understand what is process. What is process in general? Process is nothing but a series of progressive interdependent steps which need to be done to achieve something. It can be recruitment, it can be billing, it can be just raising an invoice to the customers. In most of the organizations, process is set up to do various things. So that's where we are saying it is a series of progressive and interdependent steps. One more way of looking at the process is it is a series of activities that interact to produce a result. Processes are very important in any organization. Now that we understood what is process in general, let us understand what is process in Linux. Any thoughts? Process in Linux is nothing but an instance of a running program. We can also say process is a computer program in action. What does that mean? Let us try to understand that. So you have written a program for accomplishing any of the task. The program by itself will not produce any results, right? Let us say P1 program. This program may be written in C, C++, or Java, or Python, or some of the programming languages. After writing a program, if you want to accomplish something, if you want to compute something, if you want to do something from this program, you have to run that program, isn't it? So when you run that program, that becomes a process. I hope you got a clarity on what exactly is a process in Linux. Let us look at one of the way of classifying the processes in Linux. Processes can be foreground processes and background processes. What exactly is a foreground process? Foreground processes run on the screen. And as a screen, we are talking about a terminal, for instance. And when the foreground processes are running, you cannot do anything in this terminal. On the other hand, background processes run in the background. In case of background processes, usually user need not provide the input. On the other hand, in the foreground processes, user has to provide the input. Let us look at some of the very few important commands to monitor the processes. First and foremost thing is PS. What is PS? PS is process status. What does it do? When we run the PS command, it provides the information about the processes which are running in the Linux system. It also provides the status of different processes running on the system. It can be a ID, it can be priority, it can be memory usage. Different aspects of the processes is displayed when you run a PS command. Whenever you want to monitor the processes, you got to use this PS command with the various other options. Before we look at some options, let us understand the PS in a bit more detail. When you run the PS, what does it do? It displays the processes in the current shell. I have run a PS, it is saying me your processes are bash, top, vi, ps itself. What exactly all these things mean? Here, PID means process ID. TTY means terminal type. And the time mentioned here is nothing but the amount of CPU in minutes and seconds that the process has been running. And the CMD is name of the command or the process which is running. Good. You got to know a bit more about the PS command. Now let us look at the variations now. If you observe, when I have executed the PS, we got only 4 processes. If you want to display all the active processes in the Linux system in a generic format, then either you can use PS-E capital A or PS-E. As I said, it displays all the active processes in the Linux system in a generic format. But you are not really liking the generic format. In that case, we can use PS-EF. Means it does the format listing. You can see it, right? It is nicely formatted with bit more details. Then the next option is PS-FP. What does it do? If you are searching for a specific process, then you can say PS-FP and you can give the process ID of the process you are searching for. It will display all the information about that process if it is running in the Linux. Next option is if you want to view all the processes running with the root user privilege, then you can say PS-capital U root, small u root. Then it will display all the processes which are running with the root user privilege. Wonderful. These are the important options available in PS. We'll see all these things as a part of the hands-on in our next video. Thank you.